my life at different times. Golden, I think the first time I met her, my father introduced me to her. And she was the first black female judge I ever met. And Golden, then as she had, you know, and I'm sure she still has now in heaven, a laugh that goes on forever. It is just completely infectious. And I have so many wonderful memories of her. Working with her in the prosecutor's office. At one time I was in an investment club with her. You know, we've traveled together over the years. We've had many connections with each other. You know, we've gone out of touch, gone back in touch. But I think it is so fitting and so like the prosecutor's office that, you know, it's wonderful that you're honoring her with a room and dedicated to the conference. But she spent a lot of time in the juvenile division on Saturdays, on Sundays. And I suppose before I was assigned to the juvenile division, I couldn't quite understand, why are you spending so much time there? But she made sure that her files were perfect. I remember when I first came down here, she brought a welcoming cake. And you know, anybody knows Golden's pound cake that nobody has the recipe. Oh, okay, then you need to pass it on. But anyone that knows, I don't know how many pounds of butter, because it was clearly more than 1 pound of butter that she put in that cake. And she brought down this pound cake, and I asked and those of you that know my court clerk, Renee Vasquez, you know, Renee's special. And I asked Renee, do you want a piece of cake? No, I don't want any cake. I was like, okay, it's good. Well, are you sure? I was like, don't have a piece of cake. I really don't care. I'm offering you a piece of cake. So I, knowing Renee, I cut a small piece aside and then, you know, cut myself a piece, you know, and gave pieces to other people and staff. Well, you know, a few hours passed. Well, maybe I'll have a little of that cake. I said, you didn't want any cake? She said, all right, well, I'll just have a little. I was like, okay. So I give her the piece. She eats that piece, and then she starts like, well, do you have any more cake? And I said, wait a minute. You said you didn't want any cake. And she said, that was good cake. I said, I know it was good cake. That's why I asked you about the cake. And then she's like, eyeing my piece. Now, I must admit, I had a significant piece of cake next to me. And she keeps eyeing my piece. Well, you have a big piece of cake. I said, well, you could have had a big piece of cake, too, if you said you wanted some. But I ended up giving her half the cake. But she just laughed. And from that point on, anytime Renee saw Golden, it was, you making any more cake? You making any more cake? If you make any cake, we don't tell anybody about it. Just bring me the cake. But it was all with great joy. But but Golden was the consummate professional when it came to her work and her dedication to juveniles. Those of you that have been in court with her, you know that if the juvenile needed a special talking to, she'd kind of prop herself up. She'd get that stare. Those of you that know her well, you know she can cut her eyes better than anybody else to give the juvenile the message that don't come back here. Don't even think about coming back here, because you're getting sent anywhere I can send you if you blow this opportunity. It's lovely to see everyone here. She's obviously still so well loved and is greatly missed, but I think it is a wonderful honor to bestow on her. 2 days after, unfortunately, it's the anniversary of her untimely death, but we know she will live on forever, but it's nice to be recognized in this way. And I thank the prosecutor and everyone in the office for giving her this very befitting recognition.